Now, again, with cloud subscriptions, it's important to cover this again. For cloud subscriptions, you both have contractual and technical level that you need to take into account. So again, if I have one tenant assigned to an enterprise enrollment and I want to move all the data and services to a new enrollment, that is easily done when you have a contract where you can map the licenses one-to-one to the new environment. But if there's already a tenant associated to the new contract, then it becomes difficult because you can't assign two tenants to one enrollment, and then you have to work it from a different perspective. With cloud subscriptions, we're only dealing with online services. So this is very different from software, as the technology is hosted by Microsoft. You want to transfer the technical environment or migrate out of the technical environment that you have. And timing usually is essential here. So make sure you have a plan of an approach when you want to transfer the tenant. We will cover two scenarios: transferring of an entire tenant from one party to another tenant, or transferring of a subset of data or services from one party to another tenant. As user-based subscriptions like Dynamics 365, Microsoft 365, etc. are being treated differently to Azure, we will make sure to cover the Azure aspect separately. So tenant transfers for seat-based offers, so for Microsoft 365. On the left-hand side, you see the contractual level. So you have the original enterprise enrollment and the destination enterprise enrollment where the licenses need to go to. From the original enterprise enrollment, you investigate which licenses you need to keep. You reduce the licenses that you no longer need after the divestiture. And you will need to remove the link to the tenant environment after you have moved the data or the tenant to the new destination contract. So what happens here? For instance, in the original enterprise enrollment, you have 500 users of Microsoft 365 E3. All those users need to be migrated to a new contract. That new contract does not yet have a tenant environment associated to it. What you do is, in the destination enterprise enrollment, you order the licenses that you would need from the divestiture. You activate the existing technical tenant environment to the destination enrollment, and you request to Microsoft to sever the link to the original enterprise enrollment. After that has been done, in the original enterprise enrollment, you can reduce the licenses as you are no longer using these. This means you don't need to do anything with a data migration or anything, because what you basically do is you just take the tenant and you assign it instead of one contract to the other contract. It might be that if you have certain permissions set on a top level, that you need to recreate these or transfer these in a different manner, but that is only if you have an own common layer built around your tenant. If you do a partial tenant transfer, meaning you have your original enterprise enrollment, you need to take out a subset. So you have 2000 E3 licenses, for instance, but you want to remove 500 users from that to divest that entity, then you need to do an actual data migration. And how that can look in detail is what I will be covering in one of the scenarios that I have. But basically, you need to take that actual data from the tenant and migrate it to another technical environment in order to have availability for those users in your new destination contract. So what would need to happen then is you migrate the data. You need to buy the licenses that have been migrated into destination enrollment, and after the fact, the original enterprise enrollment can reduce the licenses that have been migrated to the new tenant. So that works differently and does allow and does require some technical migration.